Hi guys, it may come as a bit of a shock to you, but I believe Robert Jenrick is a bit of a charlatan. I, unlike others, am not completely convinced that his have-a-go-hero attempts at train stations are designed to raise real concerns, or his attempt to arrest two thieves is legit. So when he appeared on Robert Jenrick-friendly GB News, he was allowed to push his pet project without much or any critique. Bob wants the government to publish crime figures based on nationality. Now, while that may not seem as sinister as you think on the surface, this is Robert Jenrick we're talking about. Have a listen.
Can you summarise what the facts are when it comes to migrant crime levels in Britain, please? Nationality crime levels as well.
Well, I just want to know the truth about who's committing crime in our country. From what little we do know, we think around 23% of all crimes are committed by foreigners, and there are massive disparities in the likelihood of somebody to commit a crime by their nationality. The indicative data we have suggests that an Albanian, for example, is 123 times more likely to be convicted of a drug offence than a British citizen. There are some foreign nationalities that are actually less likely to commit crime, like Germans, Americans, Indian citizens. But we don't know really the full facts, and successive governments have refused to put this into the public domain. I've been trying to push governments, including the former Conservative government, for a very long time. What I'm doing now is tabling an amendment to a piece of legislation going through Parliament, and this is going to go to a vote. So Keir Starmer will have a choice: publish migrant crime data, let you all know what's really going on, understand who is being convicted of crime by nationality, how they got into the country, their visa status, their asylum status, and then we can actually make policies to keep you safe. Or, if Keir Starmer doesn't want to do that, I think he is perpetuating yet another cover-up, not allowing you to understand and know fully what's actually happening in our own country.
Okay, now on the surface you may think, well, what's the problem here? Isn't it good if the government is transparent? Now, I don't know if the information that Robert Jenrick has given here is accurate, but let's say for the sake of argument it's accurate. So what is the value in giving this information to the public? See, if it's just about transparency, okay, but what are the public supposed to do with this information? Because if you say, look, the government should collect this information, okay, and then they can use this information to shape policy or to write laws, okay, that's fine. But Robert Jenrick is not talking about the government here, he's talking about the public. So what is the value in the public knowing about Albanians, for example? Like, what are they supposed to do with this information? Because if your argument is, well, then if people know, then when they approach an Albanian, they know, well, this person is more likely to commit crime than somebody else. Okay, but aren't we supposed to treat people as individuals? Like, under the government shouldn't be doing this because the government is supposed to treat people with, all the same under the law. You are innocent until proven guilty. There is the right to due process, unless Robert Jenrick is against the idea of due process, where you are innocent until proven guilty. Perhaps in Robert Jenrick's world, if you're an Albanian, you're guilty until proven innocent. See, this is like, from a transparent point of view, I agree 100%. Yes, if it's important that the government is transparent about crime based on nationality. Now, there are different caveats that need to be added. For example, some nationalities may likely be more arrested than others based on perceptions. That's a problem. The native population may be able to get off the hook easier than an immigrant, for example. If there's institutional racism, this is also another factor. I don't know if Robert Jenrick cares about that. But what is the value in giving this information to the public? Because what is the public supposed to do with this information? What is Joe Bloggs at the end of the street supposed to do with the information that Robert Jenrick is trying to get the government to publish? What do you want him to... what's the use of this information? What do you want him to do with it? Because it's possible that Joe Bloggs at the end of the street may use it to, punish people. To say, well, look, according to the data, you're likely to be a criminal, so I'm going to punish you for being a criminal, even though you haven't been convicted of anything and you haven't had due process. So we have to be very careful of people like Robert Jenrick. They present themselves as common sense or people who care about transparency. But the question should be asked, and of course it will not be on GB News, what is the public supposed to do with this information that you're so desperate to have a light shone upon? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.